Okay. All right, we just have to add Samantha. Okay, hopefully she's there. Whoops, hold on, I have to adjust this volume. What's up? I invited Samantha, so just waiting for her to join. There she is. Okay. Okay, she was joining. I don't know what happened. It did send the request and she accepted it, but where is it? Adjusted. Invite.
Hi.
Oh,
Actually, I didn't get it. I sent you a request. I didn't get the request from you when you said that. So it's weird. I don't know. Anyways, here we are.
oh, okay. We're here. Okay, good. Good to go.
Excellent.
All right.
So today's topic, and just as a warning, thankfully we can say that we're super, super busy and this might be a little bit shorter than normal, but we're gonna see how it goes. Anyways, we are here to discuss hiring a realtor. If you read my little post about it, it's really not a one size fits all. Not every realtor works for everyone, nor does every client work for every realtor. No different than in any other industry. More similar to yourself. Not to say that doesn't happen the other way either, but I just feel like people are attracted to people who they feel would do things the same way they would. Cheryl, what do you think?
I think you're absolutely right, because we have seen this many times where you see the personality of a person and then the agent that they choose, and you say, now I understand why they're together, so to speak. Same thing with a lawyer, that if you hire a lawyer, you realize that it's the personality of the lawyer that goes along with the personality of the client. But I think going back to hiring an agent, it is a relationship. And all of a sudden, I mean, there's been many times, Sam, you and I
I
have,
already know what you're going to say.
yeah,
It's
you
so
know what I'm
weird.
going to say, that they, you call their office, 50 times, and it's over a period of a week or two, and the secretary's wondering, who's this person calling all the time? And then they think, they must be having an affair with this person or something. Anyway, but you know what? When you meet someone, it either clicks or it doesn't. And usually, I think we could say comfortably, Sam, that over the times that we've worked together, or even over my own career, maybe there's been one or two people who I would say they just weren't the right fit. we did make it work, but
Mhm.
they're not the people who we have the long-term relationship with. They didn't become our good friends. I
Yes.
think I can go back in time, and there was someone in Denlow who you had met, and I'm not going to disclose names. And you said, Mom, I can see you becoming good friends with them.
Mhm.
And we did. So from selling that one home, we sold them the next home. And then we sold them a condo where they are now. And we have become very good friends.
Mhm.
So I think that, you have to have a fit, but we keep the relationship during the time that we are working together very professional. It's after that we become social and become good friends. Because during that time that you're listing and preparing their home, you want to keep that professionalism, and you want them to be able to be comfortable enough to say to you, I don't like it that way. I want you to do this, and that's fine. We're both on the same side that we want to get the house sold for the least amount of
The good old line.
shortest amount of time, and for the most money. So that's
Actually,
what we're.
you brought up a good point there. So a lot of people probably wonder or question, do I hire a friend or not? Because in that case, you're saying you got to keep it professional. You're not best friends during, the professional period or anything. However, one way we've navigated that personally is that there are two of us. So a lot of the times when it's a friend of mine, I let Cheryl really lead, just because my friendship's more important. Um, and I don't want to, I have my friendship. If it's a client and they become a friend, you never had them as a friend first. But when you have a friend first, and yes, we all want to support our friends, but it doesn't mean they're the right fit as a realtor. Um, Obviously, professionalism matters greatly. Skill sets, experience, the right person to sell your home is not always your friend.
I think what it is actually is, are you choosing your friend because you feel obligated to them, or are you choosing them because you know they're going to do the best job for you? So sometimes, but that's when sometimes we suggest that if they're in, sort of unsure, you do a co-list,
Yes.
because sometimes many people have many friends as real estate agents, but they feel that they will do the best job for them because they're organized, they're professional, they
Mm-hmm.
have the support of a great company and a lot of people
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. And for co-listing, though, 2 points I have to make. Probably don't expect to have your commission reduced because they're sharing. Just being completely authentic and out there. It's a lot of work, as much as there's lots of people who I know think that realtors, like lawyers, are overpaid. But we could get into details over hiring an agent and what they really do if you want to meet with us. um, and the other thing, also talking about co-listing, a perfect example is, it's no secret. Um, Obviously, Cheryl and I work with a lot of my husband Steve's, and actually another family lawyer that we also recommend, talking about two different family lawyers, different realtors. Leanne Townsend as a female who we tend to recommend, and also Steve Benmore and his team, my husband. Very different lawyers. Um, First of all, you got a male and female vibe. That's totally different. And then different people. But the core is the core. And that's sort of something that's similar. So similarly, we've worked with a lot of, obviously, Steve's clients, and it's not that surprising. I mean, anyone who knows Steve and Cheryl and myself, you know, we're three peas in a pod. Like, we're all very similar. We have very similar values, skills, whether they're personal or professional. And that makes it a very easy team power, quite frankly, because anybody going through divorce knows it's not just your lawyer that you require. Depending on the situation, you need a realtor, you need
Financial.
a financial, thank you, a financial person, you need a real estate lawyer. Like, there's a lot of, you need a coach. There's all sorts of different people who really make up your army, so to speak, of support. And going back to the friends and family are great for that, but they have a very different role than the professionals you choose in that stage of life. That being said, same thing. When we are dealing with a parent's home, which we do frequently, and we're dealing with the siblings, you know, you've got a lot of siblings and their partners usually, and that also you've got multiple personalities going on there. So it's usually the most common personality that exists amongst the group of children that are attracted to the realtor. And sometimes, just like in divorce or separation, when they're selling a house, they too, siblings choose their own realtors. It happens. We've done it before. And, you know, the realtors work together. So again, choosing your realtor really has to do with what works best for you, your family, and it's not just, and something that I feel like I really always felt like there was area specialists, but after so many years, 26 plus or something, I keep losing track. I started in 95. Someone do the math better than, right? I find now that it really is more about the right fit and the skill set and the experience.
I think what it is that we have usually before we go out to meet with someone, we email our clients different information. Mm-hmm. And we do have 10 questions that we send to them. And they should know, and it tells a little bit about us, and we ask questions and we answer them for them. So I think it's important, and one of them is that you want to know the approach, the way the person who you're hiring is going to sell your home. People talk about marketing. I think what it is most important is that we listen very carefully to what their needs are. We want to know the timing. We want to know also, we just basically, yes, and we tailor whether it's buying or selling to their needs because their personality, because you have to be able to read the people and understand what it is. Sometimes they want to know how many times are you going to be in contact with us? If there's a showing, how do you follow up? Will we know within 2 hours, 3 hours, 24 hours? These are all different things that people want to know. And I think that basically we have mastered different approaches for the different personalities, and that's the most important thing. And you do need to have a good rapport and a good feeling because they're interviewing us as much as we may be interviewing them.
Yep. So and communication, as we all know, communication is the key to any type of relationship. And the way you communicate with your client is obviously one of the utmost of importance, and setting those expectations. There will be some clients who want to speak to you all day on the phone. And if you're not up for that, they're not the right fit for you. You have to be there for them. It's a lot of the ones we deal with too. Are emotional moves, their life stage. It's also exactly like I said. It's who you attract to. Um, Cheryl and I are known for our patience, so it's like people who want or need more tend to come to us because they know that we will be there for them. We will listen. If we,
I
sorry, sound
think,
like you're gonna.
sorry, yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is that they will ask what's included, like in your package, so to speak. What are you going to do for me? How are you going to do it? There's photos and there's floor plans and there's Matterport and there's videos. And what are you going to do for the social media? Well, I turn to Samantha for that because that's where her strength really is. Other strengths, but that's one excellent strength that you probably all have seen, her different postings and the way that she does market a home. And it creates a lot of activity, and it creates a lot of people getting to know the Graph Girls. And from that advertising on social media, that's where we are now. After many years of doing it, it's starting to pay off, so to speak.
I think also with the social media, something that people should keep in mind is not to get caught up on the likes. Similarly, when you have showings at a home, it's not about 30, 40 showings always. It's
No,
about quality. And quality comes with a little bit more privacy and a little bit more particularness. And the reason why I bring that up is because on our social media, for example, I will get people all the time telling me like, oh, so, and they'll make they'll reference something I posted, but they didn't like it and they didn't comment on it. So there's a very strong silence social media presence and following that you have no idea. So as a warning, never, ever, ever, ever post anything that you're not sure you should be posting because you never, ever, ever, ever know who's watching.
true.
But
Big Brother's watching over you.
right. But in all seriousness, there really is, we do have a very, very strong, affluent following that we've really, really worked for many, many years on our, I don't like the database word, but that's the first word that's coming to my head.
Contacts.
Yeah, it's just, or a sphere of influence, people who refer us, who believe in us, who trust us. We really are fortunate to have some of the best of Toronto, as I say, that believe in us. And, that came from a lot of service and I guess proving and track record and everything. So, and just really getting to know, I think, and building those relationships. I mean, nobody refers somebody just to refer them. I don't believe that. And talking about referral, that's another thing Cheryl and I are pretty also open and encourage is that so that you know that we are the right fit for you, we actually encourage you to at least interview one other agent, because when you meet someone else and see the way they do things, you may or may not be impressed by their presentation of things. But
I think what it is that when we can only speak for ourselves, and different I guess interviews, or I don't know what to call it, when we go on presentations, that we are always, or listening presentations, that we're always complimented on our presentation because it is organized, and also because
it's simple.
prior to going, I think sending the information packages prior to and letting them know a bit about us and what to expect is they don't have to feel, they can read through it quickly. And when we come to the table to meet and see them, they've read it, they know about us. So it's sort of like a second viewing.
Interview.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, you know,
Second showing.
you look at the, you know, the photos on the listing and then you go to show it, it's sort of like a second
Right.
showing. So this is like a second meeting, which is important. I think they should know a bit about you. So any agents that are out there, if you have some information about yourself or a pre-listing package, share it with your client before going. It'll save you a lot of time. When you go to meet with them, it won't be as long that you're there because everybody gets fidgety after about 15, 20 minutes. And
all they want to know is all about the comparative market analysis.
that's
That's all
they
they want.
They
What's
don't want to
my
know.
home worth?
No, they've already read what you're going to do for them. So that's what's good. So we can skip, as we say, to the nitty gritty important parts. And that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that Sam and I both have other appointments to go to. So we're going to wrap it up for today. We hope everybody had a great weekend over the holidays. And then all of a sudden, yesterday it was snowing. We thought we were back in January, but hopefully we will have
no snow today. And just as a little plug, just watch out because we have a new listing coming hopefully by the end of this week. And it's
Pickering.
Yes, so talk about going into different areas, but basically we all know too that there is a strong market in Toronto where the people are making a move out to Pickering. So it's an amazing, fantastic family home with a lot more space than you'd get in Toronto, with an unbelievably gorgeous backyard in a great community there. So stay tuned. And also, wait, I got to do one more plug.
Oh, yeah.
Steve and I are bringing out our old, when we first started COVID and didn't know what we were doing, and we were doing videos and different things and IG Lives. You've definitely seen them on IG Live with me, but talk about parallels and people who work really well together. We are starting our very first weekly IG Live, Fridays at 1 o'clock. I've got Tuesdays and Fridays now booked at 1. And it's called Graf Benmore Family Matters. We're going to be sharing basically we're going to be having chats on divorce and real estate, how they sort of come together, how we work together, and then, you know, a little bit of personal shares and fun stuff that, you know, S-Squared loves. And, you know, a little probably travel here and there. You might see our show from different places in the world. You never know with us. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be super fun, great energy, and really informative, actually, information. Because
are you dressing up in costumes?
Oh, ooh. What should the theme be?
Oh, well, that should be a surprise. I shouldn't give you my suggestions.
Yeah. You never know. Oh, I got a great idea, actually.
I got one too.
All right, we'll chat about that, and then we got to bring Steve into the equation. The Graph Girls don't do everything.
He's a ham. He'll go along with it. He's good.
Love it. All right, everyone. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye.